Okay, we're going to start the drawing package. So I picked out 10. We've already done 1-1. So we'll be looking at 1923293546 58 56. I guess I got those reversed 66 and 610. So when we go into a drawing, it's going to take us to the list of sheet formats. And we can go OK, and it will pull up a list. And if you are only showing the standard formats, if you're in ANSI, you will see the ANSI. If you're in ISO, you only see the ISOs. So make sure to uncheck that. And for our purposes, the B landscape is going to be fine for using the default. All right, so we'll start off with, well, just notice that the command manager, I've played with the display settings because the last video looked a little bit too small. Now these are a little bit too big, so I'm going to go into the customize and go to the smaller icons based on my display scale. So that looks a little bit better. All right, so the model view is going to be the default, but I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because I want to choose whether I'm going to use the model view or the view palette. But we'll go ahead and we'll browse to 1-9 and bring that in. And it can go ahead and we'll grab all three views and go ahead and accept. All right, so as we go into the multi-sheet drawing, the advantage, let me maximize these up a little bit. Let's see, apparently the first time I've run this, okay, we'll leave those for now. It's kind of noticing that the command manager tabs are encroaching on my work area a little bit. For the multi-sheet drawing then, we're going to come down to the bottom left and add a sheet. All right, so that's going to give us a new sheet. We bring in the next part. So to me, the advantage of a multi-sheet drawing is we have these related either by subassembly or by category, and we want all of these in one place. If I decide that I need one of these to be a standalone, I can always copy it. But printing and being able to go through and do tolerances and stack ups and shift easily from one part to the other in the same drawing package is pretty handy. So we'll go over to the view palette, and under the view palette we're going to do a search, and the next one is 2-3. So we'll get over to level 2, not renamed, level 2, and we'll bring in 2-3. And for the view palette, we're going to get to choose which ones we want. So once I drop the first, it's automatically going to go into the projected view. In our options, the center lines are turned on, so they automatically show up. And I'm just going to right click to accept, because on this one I'm going to want to create a section view. So under the drawings, we can go into a section view, make sure that it's horizontal. We'll snap it to the center and drag in that direction. So, well, actually it would look better if it was that way. All right, so we make decisions as we go. And one of the advantages of going through all of the sheets and all of the parts, getting those set up, is that we kind of have this process of looking and reviewing, and each iteration then adds another level of review to the process. So 2-9, and we want the front should be okay. Now these are going to be pretty small, And I don't know that there's any advantage to having a top view, so we'll stay with those. Right mouse button to accept. And then on our view, we'll probably just go up 2 to 1. I don't know that 5 to 1, 5 to 1 might be a little big. Well, all right, so we can always customize by using the user defined. And maybe I'll just go 4 to 1. That shrinks it down just a little bit. If I want the isometric view to be smaller yet, I can go to a custom scale, and maybe that one would be okay as 2 to 1. All right, so we can set the sheet scale by itself or individual views by themselves to get the best layout. All right, the next sheet we will go to 3.5. I'm going to stay with the view palette, and we'll go back into the next level and 3.5. All right, so our front view. Oh, and that one stayed at 4 to 1, so that's a little bit big. So let's go that way, and then we'll bring one over isometric. All right, so let's go ahead and accept, or right mouse button to accept, and let's go back down to 1 to 1 and see if that helps with the view size. All right, so probably the same thing as we'll go to half on the custom scale, just to make sure that there's a little more space. And if I hit F on the keyboard, that will fit. Zoom to fit. Okay, the next we go to is 4.6. Make sure that I add the sheet, and just to show that we can swap back and forth. So 3.5 was open, or is showing as open. So let's go into the level 4.6. And I would like, we need to create multiple views, so make sure they're all selected. And actually that one and that one are probably going to be pretty much the same since it's symmetric. So let's go ahead and do something like that. Again, I would like that one to be just a little bit smaller. So 1 to 1. Oh, how about so we were already at 1/2. Let's go to 1/5. And we'll put those in place. All right, so looking at that, kind of think that I would want to, now this is the time to make these decisions. So if we recognize before we put any dimensions on, we won't risk losing any dimensions. So if I change that to the top view and hit OK, then I could delete that view, and we would go to a projected view to get a right side or the other side view. Okay, so that fills the space a little bit better as managing the work area. All right, so we did 4.6. We'll go over to 5.8. I'm going to go back to the view palette. Five. Oh, actually, we have the next one was 5.6. I reversed those, so we'll put those in place. Let's go to the front view and an isometric view, because then for the side view, I want to do a section view again. So let's see what 1 to 1 looks like. Probably can go 2 to 1. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. And for the section view, then we're going to stay vertical. make sure that it snaps to the center, and we're looking in that direction. Everything is pointed that way, so that looks pretty good. All right, the next one we'll go to 5/8. This one has a good auxiliary view in it, so if we go front view, again a little bit too big, so I can switch to projected view after. So I'm going to go ahead and see what it looks like at 1:1. 1/2 might be a little bit small, but if we're going to put in that other geometry, then we may want to have a little bit more room. So projected view, we'll go that way, and then to the isometric. Okay, and just kind of move those around where it's convenient. Now this one kind of presents a little bit of an issue, but we can go auxiliary view on this edge. So let's see, if I pre-select it and go auxiliary view, then that's going to line up, but it also is going to try to stay aligned to that in that direction. So right click, and going into the alignment, we can break alignment and then pull that out for C. All right, so since we had two previous section views in this this drawing package, we're now up to C. So it's up to you how you want to manage it. It will allow for duplicate views. You know, if we're going across the whole drawing package, or if we are just looking to have the details for each sheet. So I don't think that will give me an auxiliary view looking straight on. So that becomes a little bit more of a challenge to work with. So on this one, let's see, let's go ahead and open this up. And if I do a Control-8 and maybe a slight rotate, yeah, I don't know which is better, that way or that way. We can create a custom view then. All right, so if I go to the space bar and the second item, let's pull that in a little bit closer. Second item in is the new view, and I can name that angled face, or anything that makes sense really. So we save that, and we can close it, and now that view will show up to where, if I go back into the view palette and refresh, I can get the angled face view in, and it's not really going to be called out as the detail, and we're going to have a little bit of an issue with the center line. So we'll have to address that. The other thing I might want to do is use the crop. So let's see, if we go to the crop view, it's going to ask for a closed sketch, so we can approach that several ways with a spline or a circle. Usually a circle is good enough. Just make sure that we have all of that geometry contained, and then we'll go to a cropped view. So let's see the center line then. I'll go ahead and correct. We want to verify the alignment. And actually that one doesn't look like it's picking up. Okay, so we'll have to revisit that one, figure out what that angle is then. You know, on the auxiliary views, what I'm looking for is, so that one went to -60 degrees. If we go 0, then it aligns to the view that we're looking in, and when I place the dimensions, they won't try to skew. So don't really have anything to pull off. Maybe the center line, if we can get a measurement. And not really figuring that one out. So I might want to update that angled face view, or for what we're doing on the sizes and the dimensions, we can just come off to that point, and if it doesn't go back easily. All right, so we'll go to the view palette and ... open up our ellipses, and now we're looking for 6-6. All right, we have the revolved, so we're going to probably want to view projected that way, the isometric, and since there's also geometry that way, we'd want to be able to utilize those shapes. Size-wise, let's see what 1:1 looks like. Okay, that's not too bad. So we can open that spacing, and I'm just looking for the view to highlight, left-clicking and dragging. All right, and then the last sheet, make sure it gets in there, is going to be for 610. And for this one, we'll go front view, a little bit large. I do want a section view again, so I'm going to go ahead and reduce the scale to half scale. We'll look at the projected view, sending it into an isometric, right click to accept. Oh, I guess it didn't accept, so I'm just going to hit escape to get out of that. And we'll go into the vertical section, make sure that it snaps. Okay, and that looks pretty good. All right, so we've got all our views set up. This is kind of my first pass on creating the drawings. The next pass will be putting in dimensions.